Yeah. Look, listen, Young Turk in the building. What's going on? Hope you're not doing well. Hopefully I'm on the right Instagram. I think so. Eyeden official, right? Yeah, man. Today is going to be an interesting one for sure. I have a very interesting person. Very interesting person. I wanted to interview this guy for time. I wanted to speak to this guy for time. That's why I've invited him on today to talk about what it means to be Turkish Cypriot, what it means, about Islam in Cyprus and how important that was and everything of similar nature. So yeah, big up everyone watching this back on YouTube or Insta Live or wherever you're watching this back. Big up. But yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to speak to Mustafa. I'm going to call him Mustafa Bey because he's older than me. But Mustafa Kureyşi, I think I'm getting his name right. But yeah, man, we've put this as like Turkish R&B meets Turkish Cypriot history. So yeah, man, this is going to be a good little chat, a good chance for us to talk about everything and anything when it comes to being Turkish Cypriot. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting as well for non-Turks as well to find out a little bit more about our language, our culture, etc., etc. What's going on, Ertan? Hope you're well, my brother. Hope you're well. Good to speak to you, Elliot, today. Jeez!
Hello. Selamlar.
Brother, how are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. My first AG live with Eyeden. Yes.
Come on. Yeah, all good, bro. How are you, man? How you been? What's been going on?
Yeah, really good. I'm really happy with the following we're getting for Cezire.
Yeah.
The youth are loving it up. I'm really happy. I mean, just like earlier today, I had an interview for another TV show that we're starting on Kanal T.
Okay.
So yeah, Allah şükür, man. Honestly, I'm really happy.
Well done, brother.
The needs out there.
Well done. And listen, before we get into it, I'm going to let you have a little intro and everything and introduce yourself. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for all of the work that you are doing because, look, I am the next generation. One day I'm going to have kids. One day my kids are going to have kids. One day my kids' kids are going to have kids. And I will be able to refer to your videos. Big up you for watching. I'll be able to refer to your videos and hopefully by then, brother, I will have as much knowledge as you. Inshallah, we'll see.
Inshallah. You know what, bro? Honestly, this is like, I enjoy what I'm doing. Like everyone's got their hobbies. This is my hobby. I feel passionate for what I'm doing. And like ultimately I want to leave a legacy behind, Like I'm British born, I'm British born raised as well.
But bro,
I'd like to think I'm not too much older than you.
Nah. Bro, you are doing that. You are doing that with everything that you're doing. So keep it up, brother, honestly. For those that don't know this guy on the screen, bro, give yourself a little intro, who you are, what you do. And yeah, man, let people know about you.
Yeah, what can I say, bro? I mean, nothing too much to big up, really. I'm British born, Turkish Cypriot, born and raised in London. Just really passionate about our heritage and history, man. I mean, like, I think our community for a long time has been focusing on all the war years.
Right.
And it's always about the conflict and all that kind of negativity, which is important. It's got a place.
Yeah.
But it's just too much energy is being spent on that. And I think if we look at our generation and younger, it's not really relevant for them anymore, I don't think. Like, they don't really relate to it as much. So I just want to go back beyond that time. We've got a beautiful culture. We've got heritage. We've got so much to offer to human, like, society in terms of culture and everything, man. And it goes beyond those war years. And yeah, it's just something I feel really passionate about. I'd even go to Cyprus and people didn't really know anything about like much there either,
Really?
So I was really disappointed. Yeah, honestly. Like, you ask people when they go to Cyprus, have you been to Buchan? No, what's that? I know Glapsides. I know about their beaches. I know about the thingies.
And obviously these are Cypriots born and raised, right?
Yeah, literally, over there, over here. And so I thought, you know what, there's more to it. There's more to it. I remember one time, actually, we went to Buchan. I don't know if you've been there. It's in Lefkoşa.
Never, bro.
It's like this historic building. It's meant to be the heart of Turkish Cypriot civilization, right?
Okay.
And in the middle of it, there's a little building. And I read somewhere that was like what they call a mesjid, like a little prayer room.
Yeah.
So anyway, I told there was a family member. I said, his elder. I go, oh, that was a masjid, you know. Oh, yeah, he goes, no, we don't have these kind of things. We're not like that. We're not on that thing, you know. We're not on that religion thing. And it's like, okay, you might not be on it now, but what's this denial about?
Yeah,
That's
brother.
our heritage.
No, completely. And one thing that I just want to interject quickly and just say
Hmm.
something that really resonated with me with what you said in one of your videos was, okay, you may not be Muslim. Okay, you may not believe in Islam. Cool. But you have to take your hat off and you have to kind of acknowledge that this is your heritage. You can't say, oh, just because I'm Muslim, just because I'm not Muslim. No, I don't believe in that. So 100%, bro. Yeah, that's very interesting that you've just said that actually. Mm.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, there's a Islamic civilization, and there's a lot of academics and even people who are like cultured in the West who they just love up Islamic civilization,
Mm.
right? Because of the arts, because of the poetry, the food, the clothing, right?
Yeah.
There's so much to offer. And I feel that because we've been in denial about it or we're trying to hide it under the rug, no one's really interested. Like you're going to Cyprus, you're going to go on Pegasus Airlines, right? Pegasus is what? Greek mythology, right? You're
Yeah.
going to go to North Cyprus on Pegasus Airlines, right? Where are you going to stay? You're going to stay in the Artemis Hotel. It's built like a ancient Greek temple,
Mad.
right? Now go on to, and you're going to see the tourism board. They're promoting Salamis and all the rest of it. Yeah, it's good. But then you're going to tell people that Turks are native to Cyprus. No, come on,
Mm.
come on. We need to be real with who we are. Spiritually, as I said, you can believe in what you wanted. Each to their own.
Of course. Yeah.
Each to their own. I don't judge
No,
based on people's beliefs. I've got respect
of course,
for
bro.
that. But don't deny your heritage.
100%. And just quickly, just talk on your company and someone else's, isn't it? Cezire.
Yeah, Cezire Association. I started it with my friend, my brother, Ertan Karpazlı. I think he's online.
Yeah.
So yeah, just two passionate British-born Cypriots, man. We're not getting paid for this. We're not doing it for even at first. We was very reluctant to even put our name out there.
Okay.
But it's only to grow, and so people can put a face to it. So it's like, who are these guys? Like, why are you hiding for?
Of
So
course.
okay, just to promote, just so that everyone knows, just so that there's a transparency there, we put it out there. But we're not out there for fame or money or anything like that. We just love what we're doing. We want to benefit our community, and we want to see us. We want to see our people raised. Just be confidently Turkish Cypriot.
100%. 100%. Well, bro, I think you've introduced yourself very nicely. I think people that do not know you already can absolutely admire the work you're doing, bro. Even if they are, even if some people watching this, their
Mhm.
introduction to a Turkish Cypriot is me, and I wouldn't say I'm the most Turkish Cypriot out there. So for me and you to have this conversation right now, bro, I think it's actually pushing what it means to be Kıbrıslı, what it means to be out there. So yeah, hopefully in the next however long, bro, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be, we're gonna untangle some interesting questions. Have you got your free?
Let's go for it.
You got free questions, yeah?
Yeah, I got three questions if you're ready for them.
Listen, my bro, you are the guest. You are the guest, so you have to go first. That's how it goes.
Oh God, that's your brother. Bismillah. Okay.
Like, here we
All
go.
right. So, you know what? My first question is more for the benefit, well, for myself as well, but for the benefit of others in the UK and the diaspora as well.
Yeah.
Because in London, I feel that, especially like in North London,
Mm.
many of us feel we don't really understand how lucky we are to be surrounded by so many Turks. So I just want to know your experience so people can benefit of how it is to grow up somewhere where you may have been the only Turk or there weren't many Turks around. How was it? How did it make you feel? I mean, was there like an identity crisis or was you getting bullied? Or yeah, man, I just want to hear your story.
um, Bit of both, brother. I would say
Mm,
100% identity crisis. We used to play football at school on the tennis courts, and it would be the Browns versus the Whites, and then they'd go,
yeah.
"You can choose whichever team you want to go on." I'd say, "Hey, I'm gonna go on the Whites." There's that, all right, cool. Then tomorrow I'd come in. I looked at the Asian team. I thought the Asian got some good players. I'm gonna go to the Asians this week, guys. So that's how it was.
I don't think I would have got a choice, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. But yeah, so that's that. I didn't know any Turkish Cypriots apart from my family. I
Mhm,
I had heard of two or three Turks. I mean, I could literally name on one hand the Turks that I knew, but they're from Turkey. So the Turkey Turks that I knew in Coventry, and I think there was about five that I knew. And some of
uh-huh.
his family had mentioned, "Oh, have you heard of this person? They go to this school on the other end of Coventry." I was like, no, not really." And then I'd play them in a football match, and then yeah, so definitely an identity crisis. Definitely, um, just not. It's bro. In the last, I would say, last 2 years, I've really doubled down on who I am as an individual, both in terms of my talents as a person, and also
Mhm.
my heritage, bro, and because that's important to me. And sometimes I say, for lack of a better word, I say sometimes some of my family members are coconuts. They are Turkish side. They look like me. I've got aunties that look like me just without the beard. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, look like me. But there isn't that Turkishness there.
Mm,
That there it's and that's not a problem for anyone watching, that's not a problem. But for me growing up, especially as I grew up, babasız büyüdüm, without a father,
yeah.
that is a
Mm,
big thing for a male. And you know, I think if I'd had a bit more people who had that Turkishness, that would have helped me grow in those earlier years in my adolescence, because I found it hard, bro. I really did find it hard. Um, but yeah, so I'd say that's probably the short answer anyway. How long we got? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the definitely. But it's only look. I went to Harringay Green Lanes last week for the first time in my life. Not last week, but last month. First time in my life. I couldn't believe it. I was walking down.
no way. Mini Istanbul.
I was walking down the road and thinking, why is everyone talking like this? Is crazy. Like, and it was like for once I was walking down the road and I felt like I'm not actually like the minority. Like this is
Yeah, yeah.
mad. Um,
But on the flip side, bro,
mm,
just to interject there, because I don't want it to seem like, because we're living in Britain at the end of the day, right?
of course.
And I actually know people, mainly like, actually, they're all like, a lot of the, like the Turkelis, the mainland Turks,
Mm.
a lot of them, I know quite a few that even like, they speak with an accent, right? Like a fresh accent. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, so like, when did you come to the country? Like, what? No, I was born here, bro. You understand? So they're in their little bubble, like
Mm,
in a little Turkish ghetto there. And
right.
it's like their friends are all Turkish. They're watching Turkish TV. They know all about the Turkish politics, the weather in Turkey. They got no idea about UK.
Wow.
So that's another extreme. I just think that's totally wrong. We need to integrate, you know,
Completely.
we need to be rooted, but we need to be real with where we are as well and don't isolate ourselves in our little communities as well. So
100.
there is that flip side,
100.
particularly in Haringey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. I would. Me having English girlfriend, I've definitely we've had some great conversations about you know so many different things, cultural things,
Hmm.
what it's like. I am British, I'm born here, but I don't feel British.
Mm,
We about that. We spoke about many things. I feel like a foreigner living in England, and I was born here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, I would probably say that is more down and falls under the umbrella of the identity crisis, and that's probably more in what's the word? Individual to me, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
Good question, man.
But it's
Very,
funny you mentioned that, because that last point you mentioned there, it's not unique to you. A lot of the Kıbrıslis, a lot of the Turkish Cypriots will say that in the UK, they're Turkish. When they go to Turkey, they're Kıbrısli, and when they go to Kıbrıs, they're Londralı. So
oh,
uh, we don't belong anywhere really.
I I hear that, and I think I've heard stories of I've had friends that are mixed heritage, that are like their parents are from Africa, and they're
Yeah.
from like Holland, and they're born here, and who like some of their stories are like, listen, it's really difficult. Like even when I chill with my dad's family, it's like I'm Dutch.
Mm.
I feel chill with my mum's Dutch family, it's like, you know, I'm the African guy. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's just one of those, I suppose. I don't know. It's just, yeah, way of the world. I'm not really sure. It's an interesting one though, isn't it?
We've gone deep, huh?
Deep, bro, very deep. Okay, bro. Yeah, no, very good question to start off with. And I think a lot of people are getting some good insight from this. So yeah, bro, 100%. Okay, my question to you. This is interesting. So the way I look at you, bro, you are a guru of Turkish Cypriot history. You know mad know stuff that it's not even on flipping Google, but somewhere else. You know, that's this guy. So my question to you, my brother, is what don't you know about the history of Cyprus that you want to know more about?
What don't I know? Okay, there is a lot I don't know actually.
Okay.
Um, so the thing with me, right,
Mm.
it's probably like to do with like how I am as a person. When I'm into something, I go deep,
Ooh,
right? So, oh, bit of an accident there.
we're all right,
So
bro.
yeah, if
Carry
I'm
on,
into
brother.
something, I'm into it deep. So what I was into 10 years ago, I'm into now, but
Okay.
I'm just deeper down that road, right? So in order to learn more, like I try to improve my Turkish. I learned Ottoman Turkish. I went to the archives and reading like the old things here and there.
Mm.
But what I try and do, I keep trying to keep it balanced because obviously that's one side of the story, right? And we've got our neighbors on the other side of the fence, and they've got their Greek sources, they've got their Greek stories out there as well, right? So, I tried to pick up some Greek from a Greek neighbor,
Uh,
but obviously it's not enough. But yeah, to answer your question, I would love to learn Greek to be
yes.
able to read those sources, get a deep understanding of their side of the story. And I'm sure they must have loads on record.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? It's actually mental. Like I was actually thinking that the other day. Like, so my nan can speak Greek, and my granddad, Rahmetli, God rest his soul, he could speak Greek as well. My dad can speak so, uncle as well. It's probably a common theme, right? But it's almost like
Hmm.
it would be so cool, like if we were taught Greek as well, like because they could speak it, innit?
Yeah.
If we were taught it growing up. Um, just a quick one. So that's something that you want to know more about. Did you
Hmm.
go to Turkish school?
I didn't go for long. I probably went in total for about 2 years.
Okay.
I went for about 2 years.
In London, yeah.
But yeah, in London, yeah. And to be honest, there as well, like I think my upbringing was a lot more conservative
Mm,
than most Turkish Cypriots, particularly from like a religious standpoint as well.
yeah.
So I was quite fortunate in that sense. And then I would hear like a lot of the Turkish Cypriots would find things that I would hold dear, or the way that my upbringing was to be strange. And I would like on the flip side, I would find their upbringing to be strange as well. I would find it a bit anglicized.
Yeah.
But I found it strange that they found it to be normal, as if it was part and parcel with like Turkish Cypriot culture.
Like what,
That
bro?
was that was
Like what?
like I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Like Christmas, for example, yeah. Like, I'm not judging. This isn't me judging here,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of Turkish Cypriots in the UK, they're starting to celebrate Christmas,
Mm,
right? Each to their own. It's a holiday. You got time off. It's an excuse to be with the family. Fine. I totally get that. I mean, for me personally, I'm not going to do that. I prefer to celebrate my own holidays. That's me.
yeah.
But if one wants to choose to do so, I get it. But but they were actually shocked to know that I don't celebrate Christmas. Like I remember there was one girl when she heard I don't celebrate Christmas because it was coming close to the time when the topic came up. She was like, "What? You don't celebrate Christmas?" I was like, "No." "Are you serious? You don't celebrate Christmas?" I was like, "No." Like, why are you surprised? That's not my holiday. Like, if I said to you I don't celebrate Diwali or Hanukkah, like, you're gonna be surprised about that? Like, you want to celebrate it, but it's not our culture.
Mhm.
That's something you've chosen to do in your own life.
Yeah. Completely. Completely. Yeah. No, it's very interesting, and again, referring back to what you said about an identity crisis at the beginning with my question, is very interesting. Even with me growing up, it was celebrate Christmas, but I would be like, why? Like, why are we celebrating it? Oh, that's my mum.
Yeah.
She couldn't give you a reason. A majority of people, even you go ask English people, they couldn't even give you a reason why they celebrate it, especially when they're not even religious. Um,
Hmm.
just kind of one of those things that's just become very commercialized, isn't it? Just like a lot of the other ones, like Easter and all of that stuff. And that's fair enough. If you actually know the background to it, then hats off to you
Hmm.
and know what you're celebrating. But yeah, you've definitely made me think, brother. And who knows, this Christmas it may not be a thing for me. So
I've ruined Christmas for you.
it's ruined it.
I'm the Scrooge.
This is what I'm saying.
This is what happens if you talk to me too much, you know. I'm just gonna ruin your holidays.
Oh, days, that's so jokes. But yeah, no, that's that. No, that makes sense, bro. That makes sense. Makes sense, definitely. Is there any other examples you could give, brother? Like apart from that.
Remind me what the question was.
So you were just speaking on when you speak to other Turkish Cypriots, they'd
Ah, yeah.
be surprised at like how you were raised and some of your habits and they thought that was normal.
Yeah. Like loads of things, you know, like things that I thought were basic, right? So like knowing your like Surah Fatiha, yeah, the first chapter of the Quran, like it's like a page long, not even a page really, right? It's so short. No one knows, you know, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, like little basic things, right? No one's got an idea. No one has any idea at all. I remember another story from Turkish school, right? There was a guy called Ibrahim, and he put up his hand and he was like, "Oh, Hojam." He goes, "How come like the Christians they have their like things that they do, the Jewish have their things. How come Muslims don't have anything to do?" Like he literally thought, right, like 5 time prayer, Ramadan, all this. He had no clue.
Wow, that's
Like,
actually
should we laughing or should we be crying?
crying. That's one.
Right? You see?
Oh,
So
wow.
all of these things built up in me because it
Mm,
was like I need to find out, like I need to find out what it means to be Turkish Cypriot.
I hear
And
you.
when I read these books, like this is why I've gone deep because it I don't know if it's sad or I don't know how you want to like judge it, but I don't care. I'm quite content.
Mm,
But when I read these books from like in the past, I relate to these people. Like the vibe, the way my thinking is on like the same level that they're on. And
mm,
somewhere down the line, it's like we forgot our identity. It's not that it evolved. It's just like we there's a break off somewhere. You
yes.
understand? So
Yeah.
you might see other like let's look at other like Muslim communities, for example, right? They might drink alcohol, they'll go clubbing, whatever. I'm not judging, yeah, but they know this isn't part of our religion. This isn't part of our culture, right?
Different.
We're choosing to do it, but it's not part of our heritage,
Mm,
and that's the main thing that gets to me. You live your life how you want to live it, but don't try and say that it's part of Turkish Cypriot culture then,
I hear
like
that.
with the Christmas thing. You get me?
Yeah. No, no. I completely get it. That's interesting. I've got so many questions, man. So many in my head. I'm just going bing, 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 bing. Can just feel them all coming. Yeah, okay, bro. No, that's so interesting. I feel like I just want to. So, do you think would you say that is because religion hasn't been at the forefront of the Turkish community when they were living in Cyprus, or is that's just me just chatting shit? What do you think? Is that
No,
what?
you're right. You're right. If you go to Cyprus now, you will notice that the Turks from London or the UK, they're closer that they not the religious, but they're more sympathetic towards religion
Mm,
and their heritage than the ones in Cyprus. And obviously that's you can't blame them. They've not been raised in that way.
mm,
But somewhere down the line, it's a deep history, man. But somewhere down the line, we was following Turkey, and Turkey decided at some point that you guys, you're gonna be a good child, right? All this religion thing that we used to do during Osmanlı,
mm.
right? That's finished now,
Right.
right? So we was like, yes, yes, mum,
I hear
right? But
that.
we was too good. We was too good of a child.
Mm, mm.
And now Turkey's like, oh, you know what? We feel bad, We've come like we 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 have to go back. We have to go back to our old days now. We have to go back to like being like real Muslims, yeah. Yo, Cyprus, what's going on? Why are you guys not on religion?
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Bro, to me, it is actually crazy. Like everything you've just said, it's actually mad how it's gone from like yeah, like we're nice and chilled, like we're not taking this religion thing too seriously. And then it's no, we're back on it now. It's
Yeah.
accidental, and it makes me think about, you know, my upbringing and my holidays to Cyprus when I was younger, and I would go over there and I'd go see my nana's house in Mausa, and then go to her other house in Girne or whatever, and you know,
Mm.
you can hear the call to prayer, and I would think it is such an amazing thing. And I would come back to England, and like I just wouldn't associate that those Asian Muslim kids in my school, like my heritage is similar to theirs in terms of religion. I just didn't make that connection whatsoever. I was just like,
Mm.
yeah, they are the South Asians and they are Muslim, and that's their religion. I just thought, you know, I am Turkish Cypriot. I didn't even think about anything else. But I'm
Mm.
making that connection. And maybe that's down to the elders not educating me when I was younger, but really not them caring about the religious roots of being a Cypriot, really.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's crazy, bro. I would say your question, bro. Let's go for it.
Yeah, okay. You kind of touched upon this earlier.
Mm.
So my next question is for me really because I've gone so deep down this like history thing now that I can just rabbit on about it, and I sometimes lose the point where the general public aren't going to find it interesting. Like it's just like you've gone too deep now, right? So for me, it makes me so happy to see like a Turkish Cypriot who's a singer, who's in there like who's offering something mainstream. You know, he's talented. You know, mashallah, really, you got some good stuff, man.
Thank you, bro.
You got some good stuff, and I pray for all the best for you. Um, but yeah, it's like someone who's you know talented, who's in the mainstream, who's able to vibe with people at their level, at the mainstream kind of level, right? How is it that someone like that would be into their heritage so much? You know, that really fascinates me.
So yeah, your question is, how the hell are you into this history?
It's
um,
more so that I know how to market and how to do like when I have future events,
I hear you.
it
No,
will
no,
help me in that way as well.
I hear you. I would say I keep referring to it, and that's probably going to be the title of this video. Now I'm thinking about it. You know, saying it's probably that. It's probably that identity crisis that I had. Um,
Hmm.
you know, and bro, if like I love my dad and we're in contact with each other and everything, but if he was there, I don't think I would be the person that I am right now. I wouldn't have this Instagram. I wouldn't be singing. I don't think I would be trying to get in touch with my roots. I just think it was
Hmm.
just one of those things that I took for granted, like many people do, not just Cypriots, people from all over, some beautiful countries, and people are just like, yeah, who cares? Like, I'm not even going to bother to learn the language. Um, but I think for me, I would say maybe I am a bit of an anomaly in that sense. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there are other people out there that are really flipping interested in their roots. But I
Hmm.
just fear the judgment of from other people. You know, when I'll learn new Turkish words, I will try them out on my dad, and I'll try them out on my little brother, and I will see their reaction. And if they just don't even question and they just skim over it, I think I'm using that next time because I want it to still like because obviously we're still Turkish Cypriot, right? But
Yeah.
the vocab, I just feel like I need to improve my vocab, very much so in terms of standard Turkish, as they call it, right? Um,
Hmm.
so I just try little things like that out. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I don't know. I think for referring it back to you and how to market it to for events and stuff. It's if you look at what was that really famous Dizzy? Ertuğrul El. What?
Tools, yeah.
Yeah. See, I had no clue that that was that popular until I got into a taxi, and this Pakistani guy asked me where I'm from. I said Cyprus. He said, "Oh, so you Greek or you?" I said, oh, I'm Turkish Cypriot." He said, "Turkey," and he was talking to me like I was some kind of king, bro. He was like, "You don't understand what you have done for like, what you guys have done for the Muslim community,
Yeah.
and you don't realize." You know, he's trying to learn Turkish, and he was saying to me like what do you think to like is this how to say it, like kardeş? And I was like, well, yeah, that's the Turkish Cypriot dialect, like that's like, yeah, for brother. And he was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna remember that. So he kind of, but you need to remember, why is he so in awe of that? Because it's the, what do they call it? It's the what is it? Vehicle in which you're using it, and that is mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
A beautiful big series with crazy action scenes. But if that was a 30-minute documentary on YouTube, he wouldn't be having that conversation with me, because he'd just be like, whatever, like, do you know what I mean? Or if it was a 30
Mm-hmm.
documentary again on BBC, I don't think he'd care. But because they made it into a series, it's
Yeah.
like, wow. So I don't know, bro. Maybe you can take. So what do you think? Does that answer your question, or?
I would love to make a Dizzy like a Kıbrıslı version of Ertuğrul, bro.
Oh, bro, listen, you could flip in, just pitch this idea, get
Yeah.
filmmakers in, get some videographers in, and just flip and smash it, mate. You could. You never know. You could.
See, what we need to do, right, is we need the backing of the Turkish Cypriots.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
So, but what I mean by that, I'm not asking for money.
No, no.
I'm not asking for anything from anyone. But like when these videos come up, those who are watching it, put a like, thumbs up on there, put a comment. It helps, and it shows. Then it starts building up, and it shows that there's a demand for it. Like
Mm,
there's a lot of people that appreciate. I might see them like I've seen a few people that say, "Oh, I watch your stuff regularly." All right, but we don't know about that.
yeah, that's it.
See,
That's it,
so we need to make our voices heard. There's more Turkish Cypriots in the UK than in Cyprus. Can you imagine the numbers?
bro. Is that real? That's actually a fact, yeah?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact,
Unbelievable.
right? There's many Turkish Cypriots in Turkey and Australia,
Yeah.
right? But we're not dominant.
Mm,
We've become very soft, I feel. And like was it the taxi driver you were saying who watches Ertuğrul?
yeah.
Yeah. When they look at Turks, they see what we was, right? We have this saying in Turkish, Evladi Fatihan. Evladi Fatihan. It means conquerors.
I'm back in a room.
Hello.
It says, I
Oh,
was,
you're back. Yeah, Evladi Fatihan means the sons of conquerors. Right? That's
mm,
who we are. We're the sons of the Seljuks. We're the sons of the Ottomans. Right? Us being in Cyprus, 50,000 Ottomans were martyred to get Cyprus.
wow.
We came there and we gave rights to the Greek Cypriots. We built mosques there. We built like caravanserais. We built aqueducts. So when you're seeing other Muslims looking at us, they're seeing us as one of the civilizations that were at the pinnacle of Muslim civilization,
Right.
right? And when we don't know that, we're not appreciating that, and it's like, oh, whatever, I had that, whatever. I'm not like, I'm embarrassed of it. I'm trying to hide it.
Mm,
Those Muslims from other communities are looking at us and thinking, whoa, you don't know what you're losing,
mm, I hear
you
you.
know?
I hear you. Um,
Look, like even like politics. I won't go into like the ins and outs of it because obviously I'm representing an organization, so I can't like
of course.
try and push to any side. But like if we look at Erdogan's figure, for example, right? Whatever anyone thinks about him, I'm not going to go into that. But this person says 1 minute to Israel, for example, or he's going around helping like Muslim countries from various places around the world, Somalia, Pakistan, and so on, Algeria even.
Mm,
The whole Muslim community is looking at him like he's the leader of the Muslim world.
right.
You see, because we have something there which has just been left dormant.
Mm,
And if the Turks pick up on that, it's such a powerful thing. And the Turkish Cypriots are part of that civilization. And us then chasing after like the EU or trying to join with the Greek side or this and that. Why are we running after people?
mm,
As I said, the whole point of what I'm doing is we need to be confident in who we are. We're not going to run after people.
yeah. That
Yeah.
actually goes on perfectly to my next question. You just touched on it. So my question to you, brother, you just said a little bit about it, is do you think a unification of the island is possible? Uh, and do you believe that the patriotic, what's the word? Patrioticness? That's not even a flipping word, is it?
Yeah. Patriotic. Yeah.
But the way Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots are so proud of being Turkish Cypriot and Greek Cypriot, do you believe that's,
Hmm.
do you believe we should just be proud of, not just be, but we should be proud of being Cypriot as opposed to we are Turkish, we are Greek, like we are, it's an island and we used to all live.
Hmm.
Talk on that, bro. What do you think?
You know what? There's two extremes to everything, right? I try to take a middle approach, right? So like you see these slogans, like the left wingers will be like, let's not be Turkish, let's not be Greek, let's be Cypriot. We can't have peace until we're all brave enough to say that we're Cypriot. This is complete nonsense. Honestly, I'm not going to hide away from saying this. This is
Mm,
a racist mentality,
mm,
right? I'm not going to go into like religious things, but in the Quran it says that Allah created us into nations so that we can get to know each other, right? Our
right.
differences are meant to bring us together,
Mm,
but we've got this sickness in our head, this racism, right? Where if someone's slightly different from you, that person has to be an enemy, or we have to find a way to look at ourselves as more dominant than that person,
mm,
right? So when we say Cypriot, yes, I'm Cypriot. I'm very proud of my Cypriotness. All the activities I'm doing, I'm not promoting Turkish culture from Turkey or Azerbaijan. I'm promoting Turkish culture from Cyprus. That's specific to me, right? But there is no Cypriot ethnicity,
okay.
right? The Greek Cypriots, they have a unique culture and identity for Cyprus as well. The Maronites as well, the
Right.
Armenian Cypriots and so on. So all of us are Cypriot, but you can't take our ethnicity away. If I say to you, what's spicy? Say, Allah,
Mm.
hiç anlamadın değil.
Hiç anlamadım. Vallahi
Hiç
gerçekten
anlamadın.
anlamadım.
There we go. So how am I meant, so what's this Cypriotness then? I thought we all Cypriot.
Thought we all spoke the same language. Right, okay.
Exactly. So for me, as I said, I don't like to go into politics publicly because I don't think it's fair for me to use my platform to influence people politically.
Mm.
Okay. So if somebody wants to join Cyprus, right, I will have respect for that person if he's doing on the terms of there are Turks and Greeks on the island and we need to find a way to work together. If they're trying to say that we're not Turkish and they're not Greek, I've lost total respect for them.
Right.
That's game over for me on
Mm.
that sense. And then regarding the United Cyprus, we were united. We were united. We were united for hundreds of years. It's called Ottoman Empire, right?
Hey.
Not called Turkish Empire, not called Greek Empire, Osmanlı. We were all Ottoman. Greeks were Ottoman.
Yeah.
Turks were Ottoman,
Yes.
right? Greece and Turkey were united. We were all one country. Greece, Turkey,
Yeah.
Cyprus, we were all united.
Yeah.
So why did the Greeks want to leave then,
Hmm.
right? That's bringing a big question mark for me now. We were united already. We were all Osmanlı, right? The Greeks decided to rebel in the 1820s. They created their country of Greece, right? The British took Cyprus.
Yeah.
When they left, there was an independent Cyprus. We couldn't get along.
Yeah.
We could, and like to the point where there was massacres,
Right.
right? So, and if we look at the state of Greek Cyprus now, there's a rise in right wing nationalism, violent racism I'm talking about. So if you thought the BNP and the skinheads were bad or the EDL, that's nothing compared to what they got there.
Mm.
Okay. So if anyone wants to join and make Cyprus one country, let's try and live as peaceful neighbors first of all. But we can't even do that. We
Yeah.
can't even recognize us. Then maybe we can have some sort of like European Union type of union or whatever, step by step. If you're genuine
Hmm.
and sincere, then slowly, we can maybe work a way to be together. But as
Yeah.
I said, we was united before. They didn't want it based on nationality, and now they're trying to say chuck the nationality out the bin.
Just,
So
bro, let me interject just on just recent things that have been happening. What are your thoughts on I can't remember the Turkish name for the place, but what's it called? Varosha. What's your thoughts on that?
yeah, so Varosha, which is also an Ottoman word actually, is Turkish word, Varosh.
Right.
You can check it in the dictionary. Look it up.
I'll look it
Look
up.
it up, Varosh. Yeah. But they call it Marash now.
Marash.
Okay, so what we need to remember about this place is they're saying, okay, there was all these Greek hotels and there were the Hollywood superstars who were going there. Okay. Have you heard of Evgaf?
No.
Evgaf. Okay. So Evgaf is what they call like a pious institute. It's an Islamic charity system, right? It's common throughout like Muslim countries, and it was common in Ottoman Empire,
Mm.
right? It started. There's like a tradition that started from the Prophet. And the Evgaf is basically, let's say you have like land or you have a house, and you say, you know what? I'll give such and such land to my kids. I'll give this portion as charity,
Right.
Yeah, vakuf.
Yep.
Vakuf is charity. Evgaf is like the plural of vakuf.
I'm here, bro. Sorry about
You there, bro?
that. It's chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carry on.
So once something's been registered as vakuf mother,
Mm-hmm.
right, there's certain conditions. Yeah, it's called ahkamul evgaf, right? It's internationally recognized as well. This law. That is an ebediyan. It's never ending. It's always a charitable institution that vakuf land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after the church, the largest landholder in Cyprus is the Evgaf with the multitude of vakuf lands.
Right.
Right? When we look at, and it's been out there in the media as well, when we look at Varosha or Marashis, who the landowners were, it was previously owned by Abdullah Pasha Vakfı, and so many various vakufs, like a big portion of that land was owned by vakfs.
Right.
Right? The British, they took that away. But that was illegal of them to do that. Right? Because as I said, once something's been transferred to vakuf land, it's always going to be in that status. Right? So now it's time for us to look into that. The British have gone now. Time for justice. Right? If those hotels were built, they were built on whose land?
Okay.
Right? If we look at more present day, someone might be saying, you're going into history. No, this is legal. This is legally binding. Right? And also, where is that Varosh now? Where is it?
Yeah.
Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there's any churches or whatever, they need to take care of them. I'm not against that damaging of religious buildings, regardless what religion it is. Yeah. But recently on our Cezire page as well, we put up that there's a mosque there. Haji Bilal Ağa Cami, Mesjidi. Right? It's just been left to rot. Our own people haven't taken care of it.
Right.
We need to take care. This is what I mean. When we lose and forget the past, we lose our rights in a real way. It goes beyond spirituality. So yeah, I would advise anyone who's interested to look into vakuf lands in Marash or Varosha.
Beautiful. Yeah. No, 100%. I tell you what, you just talking then has made me realize, like, I need to go to Cyprus not for flipping holiday purposes, not to go and see family, just to go and look at some flipping historical sites and like, just, do you know what I mean? Just
take them with you.
Suss it out, bro. Yeah, 100. Suss it out.
And go to the Greek side as well. Like, I remember when the gates opened, I used to have this like really like, I was reluctant to go. I thought, nah, I don't want to go. That's the Greek side, all this rubbish, right? That like you grew up with.
Brainwash.
And we went to our village. Yeah, man. It was mainly myself, I think. I think there was like negativity there. Yeah. But it's only when you go and travel and you meet people, you see the people, and like you get more relaxed, you calm down.
Of course, yeah.
So we went to our village. Our village is in Limassol area.
Okay.
Yeah, the new name is Binatlı. The old name is Polymitia.
Okay.
So we're driving there. I'm looking around like, yo, this is exactly the same as the north, Like, obviously you got like the roads and that are more like modern, proper. We can say. Yeah. More advanced. Yeah, proper. There's like not as many potholes. Okay, fine. But like the mountains, the scenic view is all the same, right? Yeah. We went to our village. I'm seeing like Eyeden. I'm seeing moon and star on the houses. I'm seeing a mosque there. I'm seeing a minaret there. I'm seeing Muslim grave. I'm seeing the house that my dad built with his hands.
Wow.
Right? So how am I meant to forget those lands? So whatever the political situation is, you want to unite, you don't want to unite, 2-state solution, 1-state solution, whatever. But our roots are based throughout the island.
Yes, yes. Yeah. And it's important to remember that. It's not just, and I think sometimes people are like, this is the Turk side, this is the Greek side. But remember before that, we were all over, right? So
exactly. So my family was from the south. So what do we make of that then?
There we go. So you're Greek.
Yeah, I'm Greek now.
You're Greek, but you can't speak Greek. You're fake.
I can't speak Greek. I'm a fake Greek, man. And there's a lot of nice Greeks as well. There's a lot of nice Greeks. There's a lot of it's insan hali, you know. It's the nature of people. There's good
Yeah,
people and there's bad people everywhere.
everywhere.
But sometimes like I even see like there's silly arguments like to unite Cyprus. Like, I've got a Greek friend. Oh,
Mm.
let's unite Cyprus. Yeah, so if you got a French friend, shall we unite with France?
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense, bro.
Yeah,
That's so
come
stupid.
up with like a proper argument for it,
Yeah,
then I can take you seriously.
trust me, trust me, brother. Yeah, man. No, bro, really insightful, really insightful. Is it your last one, bro, or my one? No, your last one.
I've got one more left. I've
Okay,
got
yeah,
one
yeah,
more
go,
left. I think we've got
go.
a comment from the co-founder Ertan Karpazlı.
Oh,
Some people
anything.
don't see identity as important enough to even have a crisis over it. I would really like to understand where these people get their sense of fulfillment from. That's a
Mm.
good question.
Bro,
That that
there was another one as
why do you
well.
think this is?
Hey,
Uh, I personally can't live my life without knowing where I came from and who I am. Yeah.
yeah.
And Niz, I don't know who that is, maybe your friend. Oh my God, Cypriot dialect disease would be so funny. Yeah, definitely. You know what? The Greek Cypriots have their own disease,
Wow, really?
on
They're up
on
to it.
on 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 Rick TV. But
Okay, go on.
I'll tell you this, my Greek neighbor Stelios, yeah? What a
Mm.
typical name, yeah?
Stelios.
Stelios, mate. That's
Costa.
like the Greek version of Mustafa there, like so
Yeah.
typical. Right? He showed me a trailer for a Dizzy, right? Greek
Mm.
Cypriot one on Rick TV, and it was based on like the Ottoman time, so they had like their old like shalvars and all that, yeah, all the old
Right.
clothing, and they're speaking like raw Cypriot accent.
Wow.
Obviously, I don't understand, but they had to put subtitles
Mm.
so that the Greek mainlanders can understand.
Well, we would have to do the same, bro, because they would start being like, ben anlamam bunları. They would, you know what I
But
mean?
look, do you know what? The thing is, yeah, they might find our dialect funny,
I think
but
they
they'll know
would.
what we're saying.
I
They'll know
think they
what we're
would.
saying.
Yeah.
But with the Greek Cypriots, bir şey anlamazlar.
Wallahi.
It's really so much more different.
Really? Why though? Like
Yes,
how has
yes.
that happened?
Look, man, we have evidence, right? We came in 1571.
Mm.
We kept coming down. We've got records of who came, who were the people that came, what were their occupation, where in
Mm.
Turkey did they come from. We know all of this. The Greek Cypriots are not racially Greek,
Right.
right? So all these people that are doing DNA tests is coming out with Turkey, Lebanon, all these things. They're like, oh my God, heartbroken.
So
Yeah.
racially, what are they?
Racially, look, the first people that were there, they're called Etio-Cypriots. They
Mm.
spoke a different language. It's unrelated to anything else, right? People suspect they must have come from Anatolia or like Lebanon area. Yeah, Anatolia, not like the Turks weren't there that time.
No, no,
So
no.
I'm not
Yeah,
trying to lay claim to them. Yeah, yeah, we were still like riding the horses in Central Asia and
Mongolia and
that.
that.
Mongolia. Okay. Then you have like a period where it's called like 10 kingdoms. So you had
Okay.
Etio-Cypriot kingdoms, you had Phoenician, which is modern day Lebanese, came, and then you started having some Greek mainland settlers coming down and having kingdoms.
Right.
Okay. But over time, and especially when they became Christian, right? Because you got to remember, nationality back then, your main thing is religion.
Yes.
So when these Greeks, even from Greece, when they became Christian, they didn't call themselves Helleniga anymore.
Mm.
That meant pagan.
Right.
They called themselves
Right.
Roman.
Right.
Because they're saying we're Christian, we're Rum.
Yeah.
That's why we call them Rum. We call
Yeah.
them Romans.
Right. Is that what rum
Are
means?
they? Yes. So their
Okay.
language, their religious language for them is Greek.
Right.
So once upon a time, Anatolia, when they were Christian, they
Mm.
were speaking Greek.
Okay.
Not because they were racially Greek, they became Hellenized as a process through that Christianization.
So
Are they?
interesting, man. Yeah.
So for them, where they picked up Greek, obviously their dialect's going to be like really different.
Yes.
Yeah, like for example, they will say, like for watermelon, they will say batika,
Batika.
right?
Batika.
But the mainlanders, who they call galamara, it's like the garasakal of their version,
Right. Right. Right.
galamara. In Greece, they say karpuzi.
Oh, really? In Greece, they say
Yeah, but
karpuzi.
karpuzi. But batika comes from Arabic batih for watermelon,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So they got a lot of this influence, but obviously it comes down to the same sickness that we have, I
Yeah.
believe they have as well, where maybe through colonialism or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
everyone's got this like complex where Western and white is higher.
Right.
So anything Islam, Arab, Middle East is like lower for them.
Lower down. I hear you.
Do you understand?
Bro, just very quickly, let me interject. So we're talking about the Greek Cypriot dialects, and this was going to be one of my questions, but we've come onto it naturally. So I'm cheating my own game, but I'm just going to quickly just throw it in there.
Go for it.
Where did the Turkish Cypriot accent and dialect come from? Because it is an accent and it is a dialect. It's not just a dialect, is it? It's an accent as well. Like even my
Definitely.
English missus can hear the difference. Like she says it's like she hears it so clear, the difference.
Yeah.
Where does that Turkish Cypriot accent and dialect, how has that come around?
I'll give you a few examples because I'm going to get to a point and you understand it, yeah. In Turkey, how do they say brother?
Kardeş.
Kardeş.
Kardeş, sorry.
Kardeş.
Kardeş.
In Cyprus,
Kardeş.
kardeş. In Azerbaijan, they say kardeş.
Azerbaijan, they say kardeş. Okay.
Kardeş. In Turkey, they say kendine.
Kendine. Biz söylerik
In
kendine.
Cyprus, kendine. In Azerbaijan, they say kendine.
Tamam.
Aha. So, once upon a time, they were all saying it. If you look at Anatolian, especially like the old folk, right, they say like the K's and G's, like especially like areas like Konya, they'll say Konya.
Right.
Ankara, Angara.
Ankara.
Right? Our ancestors came from the Turkmen, the Yuruk people.
Tamam.
Right? So that's where that accent started to come from. Like all over the Turks that came, we had some Arabs from Egypt and other areas coming as well. So like we use there's a word called barra. Barra, get out of here, barra. Okay? No one from Turkey knows what that is.
Yeah.
And it comes from Arabic, but not any Arab will understand you. It's specific to Egyptian dialect. Wow. And non-Egyptian won't know what that is. What's barra? Right?
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we've picked up things from other people as well, but ultimately those Turkmen that came, we built on it, and over time, obviously we've been separated with time as well, right? You have different regions of Turkey that have their own accents.
Yes, of course.
But what we have to remember, the key moment is when Turkey became a republic. They went through a cultural change, an artificial cultural change, right? They had the revolutions.
Of course.
So they had the hat revolution. So you can't wear fez anymore. You have to wear a top hat.
Alphabet.
Right? They had the alphabet one. So you went from our traditional Islamic Alif Ba, which we had for like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
That's become Latin now, ABC.
Yeah.
And so there was a shift and then a standardization of how Turkish is meant to be spoken. Right? So all of a sudden, overnight, the way we speak has become wrong and funny.
Wow. Okay. So when that, because I've read up on that and I've looked at that many times, and that kind of revolution and Mustafa Kemal and all that, when that happened, that didn't trickle into Cyprus as well, because obviously this was before the division, isn't it? That didn't trickle down. Oh, we've got Turks in Cyprus, we're going to teach them. That didn't come to Cyprus. Is that what we're saying?
No. So what it is that they tried and it worked really well. Right. Because we were under British rule. By that point, the British had taken Cyprus, right? Illegally. They used World War I as a pretext.
Right.
But Turkey would send their teachers. Turkey would there would be secret kind of coming and goings, and they would try and keep in touch. And remember I said about it was that mentality where we thought the majority of Cyprus is Greek. They want to join with Greece, right? We've got the British who are ruling us. So either we follow the motherland or we're going to be swallowed up.
Okay.
So when I talked about we was a religious people and then we followed the reforms of Turkey to give up the headscarf and become more secular, part of those reforms was getting rid of the fez, getting rid of our old alphabet. It took longer. It took longer. And there was even a time, maybe in the 60s, 70s, where it became quite popular to try and speak like a Turkeli as well. It's like educated, it's like sophisticated. Now it's become like going towards the opposite. Now it's become more about showing your Cypriotness.
Okay.
Okay. So, but yeah, it's
Mm.
definitely, I mean, if you look at the youngsters out there now, they don't speak the same as the elders did anyway.
No, no, definitely. No, definitely not, bro.
Yeah.
That's so interesting, man. Yeah, bro. That's so good talking to you, bro. Honestly, dropping some gems, absolute gems.
Real
So
pleasure.
I've already asked you a question, so I've cheated. I apologize, people watching this back. Yeah, I've ruined my own game, but it doesn't matter. We're still in it. Okay.
It's your
So
game, so you can do what you want, right?
I do what I fucking like. Who cares? Um, so okay, bro. So this is a good one. So you have an opportunity right now
Right,
to write 3 bullet points on a post-it note.
right.
And what you are going to be able to do with that post-it note is that post-it note is going to be able to time travel 100 years in the future. So it's going to outlast your lifespan, going to outlast, whatever. It's going to outlast your lifespan, basically. What 3 things would you put on that piece of paper to show the next generation of what it means to be Turkish Cypriot? You're only allowed to write 3 things on it.
3 things.
And it's going to go forward 100 years, and they're going to be
What,
like,
3
oh,
words or what? 3
no, it can
sentences
be
or?
3 sentences. Yeah, it can be 3 sentences.
Okay. Man, first things first for me, and this is my own, maybe my own bias or
No, of
my
course.
worldview,
Yeah.
but for me, first and foremost, is learn about Islam.
Okay.
Learn about Islam, man. That is salvation.
Mm.
Turkish Cypriot or Turkish mainland or English or whatever, the same God created all of us,
Yeah.
right? And we came for a reason.
Mm.
So being Turkish Cypriot, being English, being black, white, that ain't gonna help you. We didn't
Right.
choose to be in that situation.
Yeah.
There is no superiority in this, right? So that will be my first point there. And it goes in with our culture as well. So if you don't want to believe it, you don't want to believe it, but you understand the mindset of our people.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's critical. The
Number 1.
second thing would be learn your language.
So important. So important.
It's difficult, I know. It's difficult, especially as generations go by and you're having British-born Turks.
Yes.
It's difficult to maintain, but try.
Mm.
I went to, when I was learning Ottoman, I went to the Yunus Emre Institute.
Okay.
There was an English guy there. There was a girl from a Greek island
Yeah.
there as well. They're learning Ottoman Turkish.
Whatever.
This is like, not only the alphabet is different,
Yeah.
it's so rich. Turkish is like modern day Turkish is very simple in comparison,
Right.
right? And we're struggling to grasp, like me, myself included, right?
Yeah.
We're struggling to grasp the basics of this modern day simple Turkish, and we have Greeks and English and non-Turks learning Ottoman Turkish,
Yeah.
reading the rich divan poetry.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Brother, just quickly, let me tell you, it
Yeah.
says we've got 1 minute 19 remaining.
Okay,
Bro, try and give me the last one, and we're going to wrap up as quick as we can. Listen, we are going to do a part 2. We're not going to give everybody what you get me. We're going to give them a part 2. Don't worry. So we're going to,
love for that, inshallah,
I'm going to drop you a message after this anyway, bro. We're going to chop up some more on there. But yeah, bro,
inshallah,
last one.
inshallah.
So number 1,
Last
follow
question.
Islam. Second 2, learn your
Uh-huh.
language. Number 3.
Third is be confident with who you are.
Beautiful. And that's universal, right?
That's universal. As I said,
Universal.
if you're
Universal.
English, be proud of being English. Be proud of being African, but don't go to extremes. Don't go be racist.
I hear you.
No one is